Ind AS 11 Construction Contract. Ind AS 11 prescribes the accounting treatment of revenue and cost associated with construction contract because of the nature of the activity undertaken in construction contract, the date at which the contract activity is entered into, and the date when the activity is completed usually fall into different accounting periods. Therefore, the primary issue in accounting for construction contract is the allocation of contract revenue and contract cost to the accounting periods in which construction work is performed. Scope. The standards shall be applied in accounting for construction contract in the financial statement of of contractors. A construction contract is a contract specifically negotiated for the construction of an assets or a combination of assets that are closely interrelated or interdependent in terms of their design, technology, and function, or their ultimate purpose or use. The requirements of this standard are usually applied separately to each construction contract. However, in certain circumstances, it is necessary to apply the standard to the separately identifiable components of a single contract or to a group of contracts together in order to reflect the substance of a contract or a group of contract. Contract revenue shall comprise the initial amount of revenue agreed in the contract and variation in contract work, claims, and incentive payments to the extent that it is probable that they will result in revenue and they are capable of being reliably measured. Contract revenue is measured at the fair value of the consideration received or receivable. Contract cost shall comprise costs that relate directly to the specific contract. Second, costs that attributable to contract activities in general and can be allocated to the contract. And C, such other costs as are specifically chargeable to the customer under the terms of the contract. Recognition of contract revenue and expenses. When the outcome of a construction contract can be estimated reliably, contract revenue and contract cost associated with the construction contract shall be recognized as revenue and expenses respectively be references to the stage of completion of the contract activity at the end of the reporting period. When the outcomes of a construction contract can't be estimated reliably, a revenue shall be recognized only to the extent of contract cost incurred that is probable will be recoverable, and contract costs shall be recognized as an expense in the period in which they are incurred. Recognition of expected loss under Ind AS 11 construction contract. When it is probable that total contract cost will exceed total contract revenue, the expected loss shall be recognized as an expense immediately. An entity shall disclose the amount recognized as contract revenue in the period. The method used to determine the contract revenue recognized and stage of completion of contract in progress. For the contracts in progress at the end of the period, an entity shall disclose the aggregate cost incurred and recognize profits to date. The amount of retentions and advances received. Appendix A of Ind AS 11 gives guidance on accounting by operators for public-private service concerns arrangement. It sets out principles for recognition and measurement of the obligation and relating rights in service concession arrangement. The appendix prescribes that an operator shall not recognize the public service infrastructure within the scope of this appendix as its property, plant, and equipment because the contractual service arrangement does not cover the right to control the use of the infrastructure. It only gives operator the access to operate the infrastructure to provide public service on behalf of the grantor. The operator shall account for revenue and costs related to construction or upgrade services in accordance with Ind AS 11 and those relating to operation services in accordance with Ind AS 18. The consideration received or receivable shall be recognized at its fair value. The consideration may be rights to a financial asset or an intangible asset. The operator recognizes a financial asset to the extent that it has an unconditional contractual right to receive cash or another financial assets from or at the direction of the grantor for the construction service. The operator shall recognize an intangible asset to the extent that it receives a license to change use of the public services.